Los pasaportes. ¿Qué son? ¿Por qué se usan? Passports. What are they? What are they used for? Primero, ¿qué saben ustedes? First of all, what do you know or think you know about passports? Turn and talk to your partner. Tell them what you know or think you know about a passport and what it is. El pasaporte. A passport is an official document that allows you to travel from one country to another country. It contains your personal information and identification. It is stamped at airports and serves as a record of all of the countries that you have visited. Inside of a passport, you'll find your photograph, your nationality, your name, and your physical description. Here are some ejemplos or examples of pasaportes. Later, you'll have the opportunity to look at some real expired passports. Other pages on a passport include stamps that show the countries you have traveled to. These stamps include the country name and the date that you traveled to that country. Now, let's talk about our amigo Hamilton. Hamilton es de los Estados Unidos. He's from the United States, or he's a United States citizen. So, talk to your compañero de mesa. Would Hamilton need a passport to travel to Chicago? Let's pause the video. Talk to your compañero. No, Hamilton would not need a passport to travel to Chicago because Chicago is in Illinois, which is a state in the United States. So Hamilton would not be leaving the country to travel to Chicago. Therefore, he would not need a passport. Would Hamil need a passport to travel to España or Spain? Talk to your compañero and pause the video. Yes, Hamilton would need a passport to travel to España in Europe because he would be traveling from one country to another country, from the United States to Spain. Would Hamilton need a passport to travel to Florida? Talk to your compañero and pause the video. No, Hamilton would not need a passport to travel to Florida. Florida is a state in the United States, so Hamilton wouldn't be leaving the country. Thus, he would not need a passport to travel to Florida. Would Hamilton need a passport to travel to Puerto Rico? Talk to your compañero and pause the video. Well, this one gets a little bit tricky. You probably thought that since Hamilton's leaving the United States to go to another country that he would in fact need a passport. But actually, Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. So Puerto Rico's like its own country, but it's technically a territory of the United States. It has partially its own government, but ultimately it follows the United States government. Because of this, you don't technically need to have a passport to travel to Puerto Rico, but it would be a good idea to take your passport just in case. Would Hamilton need a passport to travel to Honduras? Pause the video again and talk to your compañero. Yes, Hamilton would absolutely need a passport to travel to Honduras because he would be leaving the United States and traveling to a foreign country. Ahora que saben? Now what do you know? Talk to your compañero one last time. Tell him or her at least dos cosas, two things that you learned about a passport.